Welcome to the Secrets of Confident Women podcast, where you'll learn all the best tips, tricks, and practical techniques for building the confidence levels you've always wanted. With inspiring interviews, real-life examples, and game-changing insights, this podcast is for women who know that mastering the skill of confidence is one of the most important things they'll ever do.
Hello and welcome to our final episode of the Secrets of Confident Women podcast for 2022. I'm Jodie Clark, and together with my business partner Anastasia, we run Rise Women, which is a business dedicated to helping all women increase their confidence. And oh my God, what a year it's been. Oh, look, I know we say that every year, but this year was just something extra. But before we get into all that, I'd love to welcome Anastasia to the episode.
Thank you, Jodie. Hi, everyone. I second that. 2022 has definitely been an interesting year. We have done so much this year. It's true, we do say it every year, but we have. And I feel like I've just never had a busier, crazier, or more productive year in my life. It has been amazing, but I have to be honest, I think I'm kind of happy to see the tail end of it this year. I don't think I'm the only one. My kids are feeling it too. They're like, is 2022 done yet? It's like we've pretty much gone back to normal after all the pandemic changes for a few years, but then we've hit it with a different mindset and different expectations.
Oh, I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
I feel like we've we enjoyed slowing down a little bit during COVID.
Yep.
Now we're back at it faster and crazier than ever. But I guess with a different awareness around personal and professional well-being and mental health and all those things.
Yep.
And I think a lot of our podcast interviews and episodes this year really reflected that too.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
With that in mind, let's get into today's wrap-up episode. This is my favourite episode of the year. It's really a place where we draw back and look at what we've done, all the incredible people that we've interviewed, and all the people that we've had this opportunity to speak to. So many amazing women this year, and just so many different topics, which was just so wonderful.
Yep.
And I love the compilation part I've been working on, so, you'll get to hear that soon in a minute too. But look, we started off this year with an awesome chat between the two of us, as we always like to start, around goal setting and how to get your year off to a great start.
Yep.
And then we got stuck into some amazing interviews. That first one with Karen, we talked about divorce and how to emerge with confidence and clarity. She was a divorce coach and works with many people over that. And it was just so useful because it's really a challenge that so many people face, and that really takes a big kick to our confidence when we're going through those sort of relationship challenges.
Yeah.
Then I talked to Kate and Debbie. They were so fantastic, really about humanity and bringing humanity into organisations. And I had a great discussion with Anne around, how to get unstuck and thrive in your 50s, which really resonated with me because, as you know, I actually turned 50 this year.
Yep. Yeah, I remember that episode. That was awesome. They've all been amazing chats. I think we learned something new from every episode. And the funny thing is, we both tend to listen to them more than once, and we learn something new every time we listen to them. There's always something new to hear.
Yeah.
I had a great time this year speaking with Noor about her incredible book and how to maintain confidence in times of fear and uncertainty. She was working through a coup. It was amazing. I loved our chats that we had about how not to take crap personally. We talked about how to stop guilt from controlling your life. That was a good one. And recently we talked about how to manage stress and break bad habits, because Jodie is a habit change practitioner. Is that right?
Yes, it is.
And so that was a really,
habits.
really good one. I loved interviewing Claire about parenting with confidence and raising confident kids, because she has just been so instrumental in my own parenting style, especially after my own separation. Speaking with Robin about being a global nomad was so interesting. I'd just never met a global nomad before, so that was very cool. And I had a mind-blowing conversation with Rebecca about health, hormones, and menopause. She changed the way I think about menopause, which was so great.
Yeah, it was a really good one.
And I loved all of our interviews this year, but I have to say, I think one of my favourites was interviewing you about turning 50.
Yes, that
and
was
what
great.
you'd learnt so far. That was cool. I mean, I'll be there in a few years, and it was really cool to get those insights. It was so great to find out more about you, and I think it was great for our audience too to discover, a bit more about what makes Jodie Clark tick, and also what just drives your determination and your motivation, the force behind this business, the whole lot.
I had fun with that too. You came up with some really great curly questions. Oh, look, and just with all of my interviews, I loved talking to Xandra. Oh, my God, she was so much fun. We just had a ball. I felt like I'd sat there and spoken to my best friend for an hour. She talked about expressing yourself through design. Which
that was a good one.
She was a character, such a great laugh.
Yeah.
And Amy was fantastic too, about conquering our fear of failure. And then Nikki, that we talked about building business and really backing yourself, which I think was so relevant for just so many women who are trying, like, you know, even ourselves, trying to create and grow their own business, because you really do need to have that back yourself type of mentality.
Absolutely.
And then we welcomed back Lorna, who I've interviewed before, I think in season 1, early in the piece, about tapping. But this time we spoke to her about the healing process after a relationship breakdown, because she launched an amazing book called Thank God He's Gone, which was just so much fun. It's the best title ever. Oh, and then I loved talking to Lizzie about how to evict the mean girl in your head, which was really a lot about body image and all the stuff that goes through women's heads about all that and how to deal with it. So that was wonderful. And then our final interview this year was with Brenda and Catherine, who gave us so many great tips about how to accelerate your career. So I think we just covered, oh my goodness, some amazing variety of topics.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy we're able to give listeners the opportunity to hear so many incredible different views and different content, and from really confident women, because we've had so much great feedback on the variety of topics this year that there's something here for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. And I'm so glad that we're able to share all these stories. Like, I mean, it's great that we get to hear them, but it's great that you get to hear them too. We love sharing the stories. We love sharing the confidence tips and tricks with everyone. The whole point to this podcast was always to get real women talking about their confidence tips and tricks that we can then share with other real women.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's just been so much fun doing it. But as we do every year, there is a compilation element to this final episode, which I know you've been working so hard on, as always, Jodie.
Yes, I sure have, with the help of our wonderful podcast editor, Stevie.
Yep.
As our listeners will know, at the beginning of all our episodes, we ask every guest, what does confidence or being a confident woman mean to them? And then we also ask them, when are they the most confident version of themselves? And I love this because each of our guests always has an interesting view on what confidence is.
Yeah.
And even after interviewing, I think we're up to about 45 different women over the span of our podcast.
Yeah.
There are still new perspectives that we hear about their take on what confidence is. I just love also hearing about when are they the most confident, because we all have times when we are confident, just like we all have times when we are low in confidence.
Confident,
right?
Yeah, definitely.
But I really hope that this question also allows the audience to reflect on the times when they are confident in their own lives. You know, we have to look at those places as well, because sometimes it's so easy just to focus on the areas where we may be lacking confidence or feeling a lot of self-doubt.
Yeah. I think that's where the beauty of perspectives comes in, where you said we had so many different perspectives, because we did have so many different responses from all these women, but there's often like common themes. There's an alignment underneath. You know, it's about being authentic. It's about being yourself. It's about living true to your beliefs and your values. And it's so great to hear all these different perspectives, but with the same, you know, theme underneath.
Absolutely.
It's reassuring.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so let's get into it. Here is a bit of a summary of what our guests this year think confidence is. And what does confidence or being a confident woman mean to you?
Yeah, and I love this question because, as you say, different people have different perspectives. But in my opinion, confidence is something that we can't give anyone else. It's something that comes from the inside. And it's really an inner knowing and an inner trust in ourselves.
I guess it has meant different things at different stages of my life. But where I look at where I am right now, it certainly, confidence for me has less to do with other people than it did in the past.
Yes.
And a lot more to do with my own journey with myself, with my journey to embrace and own my choices, my flaws, my strengths, and everything in between.
Tell me, what does confidence or being a confident woman mean to you?
I have thought a lot about this, and I was thinking about confidence and what does it actually mean? Because I guess for me, I've always thought about confidence as a feeling and something that I feel as opposed to something that you do, if that makes sense.
Yep.
But when I really thought about it, I think for me, confidence is being able to find the courage to do what you want to do. I think we have to kind of acknowledge as well that, you know, sometimes those things can be hard or they're really uncomfortable, and confidence doesn't always feel like, you know, you're 6 foot tall striding through a room, you know, and having everyone sort of listen to what you're saying. You know, it might actually feel a bit weird or it might feel uncomfortable, but for me, confidence is trusting that you will be able to get through that particular situation, no matter how it actually feels.
Yeah, like a deep sense of self-belief, because you're right, confidence isn't always loud, and there's this misconception that confidence is, it's brash and it's loud and it's, you know, really visible, and sometimes those people, they're not confident, they're masking something, whereas the people who are quietly confident and have this really kind of strong self-belief, they can manage it. They don't need to yell and scream, they don't need to, you know, stand really tall and make sure that everyone can see them.
I think it means being able to be your genuine self.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you put everything out there on social media about all of your most private things, but I do think that being able to be comfortable in your own skin,
Yes.
being comfortable speaking up and just being a part of a conversation and feeling like you have something to contribute.
Being brave to just say the thing that is going on in my head and not worrying about if it's right or if it's wrong, air quotes, you know, and really believing that even if it's quote unquote wrong, it will actually propel the idea or the document forward. And there's some work that has to be done. You have to disentangle your ego from the fear of not getting it right.
I found confidence when I started to feel happy on the inside.
Yes.
I look back and realised I'd spent years trying to be what other people wanted me to be, or achieving goals other people had set for me, or just not being true to myself. And so unconsciously, I mean, I wasn't consciously saying I'm going to be a people pleaser. It just was kind of my nature, and I suppose the way I got my reward or acceptance in life. But I wasn't confident being like that.
Having completely lost it, I would say being firmly rooted in who I am and why I do what I do. And that typically comes from navigating trial and tribulation and learning who we are and refining our strengths and being really kind and compassionate about our shortcomings.
It really is that inner self and that inner knowing.
Yeah.
I know who I am.
Yeah.
I know what I'm capable of. I know far more about me than I ever did. And I think turning 50, when I learned to basically say to the world, you know what, if you don't like me, you can, I don't care.
Yeah.
That helped with my confidence too, because it was like I no longer cared what the world's judgment was.
Yeah.
This is me. This is how I'm going to show up and experience my life.
Yeah.
I'm not rude, cruel, nasty or mean to anyone, but I'm not going to back down and play the little wife again ever again either.
Yes.
So that's the confidence to me. It's just that certainty inside that I know who I am.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, no more compromising. I'm not compromising on myself. I am who I am, like it or lump it. And if you lump it, good riddance.
What Brenda said before, it's about a set of behaviors. There's been a lot of research on what is confidence, and it's how you show up. It is a set of things that you do. And then, as Brenda said, then it transfers to how you feel. But you start with a set of behaviors.
So when are you the most confident version of yourself?
Look, at work I am. When I am, unlike I think maybe some people, when I am talking to a group of people, like I'm doing public speaking, and I am talking about something that, one, I feel that is my area of expertise. Yeah. And I can speak confidently, that I know the topic and I have strong opinions on it. I think as women, look, we can't go past the fact that there are different areas of confidence, and one area is physical confidence with our bodies. I mean, it's just, we can't deny or pretend that doesn't exist. And I felt the most confident physically during my pregnancies.
Oh, wow.
You know, when I was heavily pregnant, summer, string bikini, never felt that confident to ever rock a string bikini before or since.
And when are you the most confident version of yourself, Karen?
I think I would say as a mother to my children. I have two 20-something-year-old children, and I remember saying early on, if I fail at everything else, but I raise a young woman who can stand in who she is and have her voice, and a young man who's just, you know, such a good soul, then I could fail at everything else and still be a success.
I thought this was a great question. I am the most confident version of myself when I let myself think out loud. You know, I read a lot and I'm interested in a lot of things, from politics and the environment to design to art to theater and music. You know, I'm just interested in a lot of things. And I like being able to have conversations with people about any number of things. And I feel most confident when I can contribute something that I heard, that I read, that might be of interest. And also when I am able to absorb what somebody else is saying that is of interest.
Yeah.
Because I'm actually tuned into them and I'm not so worried about what I look like or what I say. Do I sound stupid? Do I look bad?
Yes.
Where I can actually give them my attention and then we have this back and forth meaningful conversation. Meaningful conversations to me are where I feel the best version of myself. And that, of course, is also confident.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
I guess I feel my most confident when I forget to be afraid.
Yes. Yes.
When I forget to be afraid, I get in and I do everything I need to do because we forget to be afraid. That's my most confident.
Look, I think when I'm playing to my strengths, that was something else that I realised. I was constantly striving to be good at the things that I wasn't good at. And that helps our confidence, you know, because we always focus on what we're failing at.
Yeah.
And when I changed that focus to be, well, what am I naturally good at? What do I find enjoyable and easy? If I play to that, then that feeds my confidence because I get good results, and then I feel better about myself, and then that content feeling and happy feeling on the inside grows stronger, and then you have this lovely cycle positivity.
So the most confident version of myself is when I am dancing. I mentioned this in the book. I love dancing.
Yeah.
And I think the reason is because when I start dancing, I come out of my head and I'm fully in my body. And music in itself, I feel like is a route, like a direct route to my soul. And then, you know, when you can incorporate movement into that and pair it with music, it's just such a beautiful experience. And so dancing is probably when I am most confident.
Yeah, and it's so freeing, isn't it? When you can just be, when you get into your body and out of your head, rather than, oh my God, is people looking at me, or am I making a fool of myself? You can just let all that go. I love dancing as well, so it's a really good one.
Oh my God, this is honestly one of my favorite parts of the Secrets of Confident Women podcast because it is such a great way to be inspired and just to be able to hear the best of what we discussed throughout the year. It's so great to hear what all these women said. And it always makes us a little emotional, I think, because it gives us proof that what we're doing matters, right? We hear it, but to actually put it all together in one spot, we go, oh, it matters, because real women need to know these things and they need to have access to the best confidence boosting tips from other real women. You know, we look to celebrities and we look to people making millions of dollars, but it resonates with us most when we hear it from other women just like us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that's when we can relate to it, I think.
Yeah.
That's what makes the biggest impact. And that's what shows us that if they can do it, then so can we.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think another thing that we've really loved this year is all of the amazing testimonials and feedback that we've received from some of the incredible women who've completed our online courses. It's just been so great to hear back from women who have worked their way through our videos. You know, they're in our Facebook group and it's amazing to see the impact that it's having in their lives. I think my absolute favourite testimonial was from Katie.
Mm-hmm.
So Katie was recently nominated for Accountant of the Year for the 2022 Women in Finance Awards.
I know, so amazing.
Yeah, I know. And she gave us some amazing feedback, and she told us that before doing our course, she would never have considered herself good enough for this type of award. And this is something that we hear from our clients so often, you know, this imposter syndrome that creeps up on them because they've lost their sense of self-worth and their confidence. And they know that there's something in the way, and they've lost that feeling of knowing that they're worthy of a nomination like this, but they don't know how to get past it. Now, we're so proud of Katie, and we were so thrilled when she emailed us. Do you remember how excited we were?
I know.
Because she actually said, and this is verbatim, just listening to your course has completely changed my mindset and increased my confidence tenfold, particularly in my career. I had so many light bulb moments whilst listening to your videos and the podcast. Katie had said that she was hesitant to accept the nomination because she was nominated for this award, right? And then she had to accept it by applying. But she said that after working through the course and listening to the workplace audio lessons, she thought, hell yes, I'm applying. Yeah. And it was so good to read that. And the result was fantastic, right? Not only was she nominated, but she was actually shortlisted as a finalist. And she went and she had the most amazing time at the awards ceremony that she otherwise would not have gone to.
No.
Because she actually thought she didn't deserve to be there. She told us in her email that she thought, you know, I'm not even going to bother going ahead with this because there are so many other amazing female accountants there and I don't belong in that group. And it's not true. She did, and she rocked it. She was amazing.
Yeah.
And she told us if it wasn't for your course, this would not have happened. And it was so exciting to hear that. Her confidence increased. She took her career to the next level. And she said that she dramatically increased her professional network overnight because of this.
Absolutely.
All right. And this is what we want. This is exactly what we want for all of you out there. Those light bulb moments when you finally realize that you are enough, that you do have what it takes, and that you have everything that you need to be the confident woman that you've always wanted to be, and we're here to back you. We're here to support.
Absolutely. And oh my God, I remember receiving that email from Kate.
Yeah, I know.
It just made our day. I think I was messaging you on Skype going, oh my God, have you seen this thing?
No.
Because it does. It reminds me that what we do matters, and it matters because every woman deserves to have those aha moments when the penny just finally drops and they realise exactly what they are worth and how an increase in confidence can help them live the life they want.
Yep.
Whether it's through the course, the podcast, our book, or in one-on-one coaching, the end goal is always the same, to just help women to be the happiest, most self-expressed and most confident versions of themselves. And it was just, we do read every single one. Like
all of them.
All of them.
And more
absolutely.
than once.
More than once, exactly. They go, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, because we need that too, right? Like we often talk about reinforcing and looking at, you know, we have this technique called the WOW book, which if you're a part of our network, you'll know about this, where you kind of compile all the evidence from what you've done and your work and your life and put together a file that kind of goes, oh, no, I am good enough and I do know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And you kind of call on that every once in a while when you feel your confidence dropping, and it helps you build it up. And your testimonials and your feedback are our WOW book.
Absolutely.
That's what, you know, tells us that we're doing the right thing. Yeah. We are on the right track. It's so incredible. It's so inspiring to hear from all of you, regardless of how we've worked with all of you. And we just can't wait to see what 2023 has in store for us and for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And so listen, that is it from us for 2022. Oh my God, we've absolutely loved knowing that you're all out there listening to our episodes, and we hope that you've been able to take something from at least one interview this year that has helped you to become more confident and be the confident woman you were born to be. Now, before we finish the year and listen to our compilation, we have a few people to thank. Firstly, thank you to all our wonderful guests this year that gave up their time to record these episodes. We know that it really does take something to book time into your busy schedules. We're all very busy to be with us, but we really do appreciate it, and we want you to know that you sharing your wisdom really has made a difference to our listeners and the women in the world. So thank you, thank you, thank you. It really, the podcast wouldn't be what it is without being able to share so many of your stories, your insights, and the wisdom from all these incredible experts around the world. So
definitely,
we really do thank you.
Yeah.
And again, thank you to our listeners. Look, This really is important work, and we love hearing about how something you heard on the podcast made a difference to you, or had you be more confident, or had you speak up, or even just had you feel like you were not alone. If you have a negative thought, or you're feeling fear, or you're feeling low in confidence. This podcast has always been about sharing the truth, that feeling low in confidence is normal. I mean, really, join the club.
I know, right? It's a big club.
Yeah, the big club, right? There is not something wrong with you. The voice in your head does not talk the truth, and you absolutely can do something about it, just like us.
Yeah.
Thank you also to some of the people behind the scenes that have really helped us achieve some wonderful things this year. You know, there's not a lot of us. There's only a few, but who we bring into our circle of people to help us are key to us, Anastasia and I, being able to produce what we produce in this business. So to Stevie, our amazing podcast editor, oh my God, thank you. Being able to just put these episodes into Dropbox and let you work your magic has...
Because our listeners don't hear the back end. They don't hear us making mistakes and going, thank you, Stevie, edit that out.
Correct. It's just taken so much pressure off me trying to do all the editing myself, and you do it so much better than us, so we really do appreciate it. Thank you. To Rosie, our wonderful assistant, thank you so much. You've been just really critical for us this year in, you know, the times when we have been so busy. You have just helped keep so many areas of the business running and seeming seamless on the front end of the business, and thank you. And thank you to Bruce, who has helped us on our digital side of things, really helping us manage all that sort of crazy digital algorithm world that we so desperately hate.
We are terrified of.
And I'm even going to say thank you to Pat, my ironing lady, because, oh my God, we do live busy lives, and it makes such a huge difference to us to have people who, you know, we can rely on. I literally leave my ironing basket out the front of my house and it comes back the next day all ironed. So
I need a Pat in my life.
You do. To have support like that in our business and, you know, in our personal lives, it's just
absolutely
invaluable. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you to everyone. And I just also wanted to say thank you to, you know, just these people who come up to us. We don't always know who's listening, and we don't follow stats, and we don't do all of that. We just know that we put it out there and we hope that it lands in the right place, right?
Yeah.
Because we're doing what we love. So if we make an impact on one woman or 1,000 women or 1 million women, for us it's the same. We just want to know and be able to help women who are out there. But please don't stop giving us feedback, because we do love it. You know, I speak to people that I see randomly or people that I see very rarely, and they'll just, you know, pop in and go, oh, by the way, I heard your podcast and it was great. And it just, you have no idea what an impact that makes on us and how important it is for us to hear that, because, you know, I'll often get comments from women that I may not have seen for ages who go, oh, I've been listening to your podcast and it gave me the courage to go for that job promotion, or, you know, leave that toxic relationship, or travel, or do something that, you know, follow a hobby or a passion, something I've always wanted to do. And we do get that. And it's so incredibly important to know that the little things that we're doing are having such a big kind of snowball effect on people's lives. So please keep the feedback coming. We absolutely love it.
Yeah, absolutely. And finally, I just want to say a huge thank you to our wonderful clients. To those women who have signed up for our online course that we don't always meet. Sometimes you pop into our private Facebook group and we hear your things, but others don't. Thank you for being part of our community and trusting us to support you in your efforts to be a more confident woman. We do see every single course sale come through, and we absolutely do a little happy dance for every single one.
We really do.
It really does make a difference to us. So thank you for doing for those women. And to my one-on-one coaching clients, oh my goodness, each week I get to do sessions with you and be inspired by the courage you have to change your life. I mean, We laugh, we cry, we talk, and sometimes I give you a loving but firm kick in the backside to step up and realize what an incredible woman you are. You know, you give my life so much purpose. You inspire me to be at my best, and I absolutely love being on the ride with every single one of you. And I really do thank you for trusting me as your coach to help you be that amazing woman. So thank you to everybody. Thank you for a wonderful 2022 season. And to wrap up our final episode of the year, here's an amazing compilation of this year's answers to our Rise Women Power questions. And we can't wait to talk to you all again in the 2023 season of the Secrets of Confident Women podcast. Bye for now.
Bye.
What do you wish every woman knew?
I wish that every woman knew that the more they put themselves out there, the more confidence they're going to gain.
Oh.
It can be the smallest little step.
Yeah.
Put yourself out there. And you know what? The best part of that is that the next day you go, oh my gosh, I survived.
Yes,
I survived.
That the mind is very powerful. Stop letting it control you and start taking back control of it.
Yeah.
What do you wish every woman knew?
That we don't all have it worked out.
Love it.
We don't all have it together. It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It looks like we do, but we don't.
That's so true.
I think I would say that every single one of us has unique value, and you've got it, and you need to own it and craft it and put it out there in the world, because so many women are spectacular, but they believe that what they do is common fare. They believe that what they do, anyone can do, and it's just simply not true. So.
Oh, that underneath everything of their life, they are truly innately whole and complete.
Absolutely. I love
Unconditionally.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is going to sound super cliche, but sometimes
They're the best.
cliches are the best because they're so true. And that is, I wish that women knew their power.
Yeah.
And the power isn't some kind of, physical, structural power or whatever. It's the power within to rewrite those stories, to claim their body confidence, and to really make a big, big difference in the world.
So what do you wish every woman knew?
That they have something important to say.
That nobody else can define who they are except themselves.
So your first question is, what do you wish every woman knew?
That it is never too late to make a new path to a different future.
We are far more powerful than we realise.
What is your superpower?
Straight talk and a warm heart.
I think it's helping women believe in themselves and live the life they want to live.
Love it.
I think my superpower is genuine communication.
Oh, good.
I feel like I'm pretty good at making somebody else feel comfortable to open up to me fairly early on. And I think I do that by just throwing out a foible of my own or an embarrassing little moment or something so that the person goes, oh, thank God she's just a normal, real person,
Yeah.
I think that has gotten me very far in life.
Yeah. Oh, good. And I have definitely experienced that with you, just meeting you today. So there you go.
Thank you.
What is your superpower?
I really think it's just my true undying passion for understanding the nature of this thing called existence and how it is that we flourish and thrive.
Mine's definitely manifesting the things that I want.
Very nice.
Calling them in.
Yes. A serial manifester. I love it. I love it.
What is your superpower?
Oversharing. Because I used to shy away from it, and I used to be like, you shouldn't do that as a psychologist, and not my whole office wants to know my whole life, and my clients. Actually, now I've embraced it, and clients go, no, it actually makes you really raw and relatable.
Yeah, absolutely relatable.
Wonderful. So we have this shoe thing going on because Jodie and I love our heels. Heels or flats is the question. In my head, I'm thinking hiking boots. Am I right?
No, just flats.
Just flats. Okay.
Yeah, a girl should be quick on her feet.
Now, are you a heels or a flats girl?
Why choose? Why choose? We can have both. We can dress up. We can dress down.
You're correct.
I think for practical reasons, the sneakers, trainers, definitely. But if I am on the dance floor, heels.
Absolutely.
Of course.
Absolutely. doing your best Beyonce rendition, right?
Oh, yeah.
Sasha Fierce would never wear flats, though.
Cool. Heels or flats?
Heels, heels, heels.
Yay. I'm a heels girl
I'm
too.
an ex-ballroom dancer. I was born in heels.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, it's definitely flats these days. I wish it was heels, but you know.
I know. I'm getting to that stage as well.
I'm going to say heels. They become more uncomfortable as I get older, but I am very dedicated to finding comfortable ones.
Heels or flats?
Heels, but in reality, flats.
That's my life now because I'm a heels girl, but I find myself more and more in sneakers and it's killing me.
So we always ask heels or flats, but we have changed this because we've had people come with snow boots, Wellington boots. We've had barefoot. We've had all sorts. So are you heels or flats or something else?
I'm a hiking boot girl.
Good.
At the moment, I'm in Bombas, which is the wool slippers.
Yeah, so I was raised on the beach, so I would go with the barefoot girl whenever possible.
It depends on how long I'm going to be on my feet.
Yeah, that's true.
Because if I am, so here's the true secret. You know, if you've got a big presentation, wear the most amazing shoes.
Yes.
There's something powerful about it.
Absolutely.
So I say the most amazing shoes is the right answer.
Yeah.
But you also want to make sure that you're not going to be distracted by pain.
Yes.
So if I'm on Zoom and I'm doing a really big presentation, I will wear the most amazing heels on Zoom. But if I have to be standing facilitated for 10 hours, I'm going to choose my kick-ass flats.
Yeah.
Your favorite quote or rule to live by?
I've got two. Can I share two?
Absolutely.
Never underestimate the power of a genuine conversation.
Yes.
And my second one is, if you want something you've never had, you've got to do something you've never done.
Yeah, it's not my quote. I stole it, but I love it.
That's all right.
Everything is figure-outable.
Oh, I know her.
Marie
Forleo. Yes, I love it too. She's written a book with that title. I know. I used that word with my kids the other day. They're like, that's not a word. I'm like, yeah, it is now.
Some people practice until they get things right, but professionals practice until they can't get it wrong.
Viktor Frankl's quote, which is, between stimulus and response, there is space. And in that space lies our ability to choose our response, and in our choice lies our freedom. How do we help people respond instead of react to the stimulus of life?
So my favourite quote is another Deepak Chopra one, which I came across a long time ago and still live by. And he says, we all have a unique gift or talent, and when we use it for the service of others, we experience the ecstasy of our own spirit, which is the ultimate goal of goals.
Yeah, in business, very, very early on in my career, a mentor said to me, if you don't jump off the precipice, you'll never fly.
You know, I love Byron Katie, who says, nothing happens to you, it happens for you exactly at the right time. You don't have to like it, but it's just easier if you do.
Your favorite quote or rule that you live by?
One of them for me would be the change you want to see in the world.
Yeah, lovely.
I think it begins and ends with you.
Leadership is helping others see their worth and potential so clearly that they come to see it in themselves.
Oh, that's gorgeous. I haven't heard that one before. That's really lovely.
Oh, okay. So my favourite mantra is, get the out of my way.
Yes. Okay, who inspires you and why?
Women who are having a red hot go.
Yes. Yeah.
Any woman, we're young, old, whatever, just someone who goes, you know what, I'm going to have a crack at this.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know, I think my dad inspires me. He's no longer on this earth, but my dad was just a good, smart, down-to-earth guy. And I think I'm still trying to make him proud.
Who inspires you and why?
I think the young women who are talking unashamedly about sexual abuse, I find very inspiring at the moment, and going through courts and not caving to the kind of pressures that are being sort of foisted down on them. Yeah, I find them incredibly inspiring.
I'm very inspired by Jacinda Ardern at the moment, the New Zealand Prime Minister.
Yes.
I love her because I think when often women get into power, they try to be very masculine. They try to compete on a masculine basis, and then women don't like them and men don't like them because they don't really quite belong to either.
Yeah.
She is smart and capable and a decision maker and whatever, but she's also got that lovely, caring, empathetic. She has shown the world that kindness is not weakness.
Yes.
And I love that.
Yeah. Who inspires you and why?
You know, I find myself constantly inspired by my husband. He is such an amazing soul and just so wonderful and brilliant and smart. And I really like you. We learn from each other every day, but he's definitely one that inspires me.
My husband and my sons are my inspiration. They show me love like I've never known. They challenge me to live my life with purpose, with bravery, and with joy.
So who inspires you and why?
That's a tough one. And I think the answer is probably a couple of my closest girlfriends. You know, everyone's gone through their own stuff in life and everyone has their own, struggles. But my closest girlfriends I look at and I think they're pillars of strength for their family, and they don't really realise it even. And they're intelligent and they're opinionated and they're also vulnerable and fragile and loving. And I've got a great team of females. I don't have a lot of friends, but I have a couple of close ones, and they inspire me.
I'm inspired in some ways by nearly everyone I meet. Everyone can teach us something, if only to try not to be like them.
Inspiration comes in so many ways, doesn't it?
Finish this sentence, Anne. If I had even more confidence than I do now, I would
publish my memoir and start a professional speaking career.
Oh, wow.
That's a really big question. You know what? It's not a matter of saying yes to things. I think it comes down to saying no to things.
Wow, I love that.
Okay, finish this sentence. If I had even more confidence than I do now, I would?
I think that's the toughest question. And I think if I had more confidence, I would talk to more strangers.
Oh,
is that weird?
Interesting. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah,
just random conversations with people.
Yeah, I'm also the person who's super confident when I'm either working or I'm with people I know. But if I walk into a social event, I love those people that can just come up to a group and be like, hey, I'm such and such, and introduce themselves.
Yeah.
And I think, oh, thank goodness for those people, because it's like otherwise I would have been here by myself.
If I had even more confidence than I do now, I would
be the tomorrow version of me, because I feel like confidence is something that we're all growing, and it is a journey.
Oh my gosh, I don't know how to answer this. My flippant answer is I would charge more for my services.
Okay, that's a good answer.
I don't know, because I feel like the process of gaining confidence is in and of itself kind of rewarding to me.
Yeah.
When right now, I'm in the process of putting together my very first book proposal.
Oh, wow.
I couldn't have done it a year ago.
No.
I didn't have the confidence.
Yeah. And last but not least, finish this sentence. If I had even more confidence than I do now, I would
be dangerous.
What does dangerous look like for you, Lorna?
It comes back to that. If I was, when am I in my most confident is when I forget to be afraid.
Right.
Yeah, that's the dangerous stuff of, I could really forget to be afraid and be even more confident.
Yes.
What else can I achieve?
Yes. Oh, so good. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing your ideas with us.
Oh, thank you so much. Honestly, like I said at the beginning, it's a real honor. Love your podcast, and I have really enjoyed this conversation.
Yeah.
So thank you. I'm so happy to know you.
Thank you so much. What a pleasure.
Oh, thank you so much. It's such an honor, and I really appreciate you having me.
Thank you. It's such a pleasure to be here and hang out with you. You know I love you too. And to be invited back is wonderful.
Thank you so much for being part of the podcast today.
Oh, you're very welcome. Look, I love what you guys do too at Rise Women, and I love the podcast, and I know how much time and energy and effort and everything you put into making this happen, and I can hear the passion in your voice as well. So, and I think when we all work together, we all rise together, and I just I think it's so important what you're doing. I feel very privileged to be part of it, so thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, we do love it. We do put a lot of work into it, but we do love it because it's such important conversations that get out to the world, and we get so much great feedback from listeners. So that just keeps the ball rolling and helps us to feel like we're doing that sense of purpose, as we're putting good into the world and supporting and helping women all over the world.